Hey guys, it's Hannah and welcome back to The Dyslexic Reader. Today we are doing a book haul. These are videos I love to make and I love to watch, and I had a day off over the weekend and nobody to hang out with. So what do I do on those days? I go to my favourite charity shops and I look for all the cheap second-hand books, and I managed to buy 10 books for £5. They were 50p each. It was such a steal, and I didn't purposefully go looking for the cheap. Well, obviously they're all cheap, they're in a second-hand store, but I didn't go hunting for the cheapest books. It's just everything I was interested was super discounted this week, which is fabulous for me and hopefully for you guys who will enjoy watching this video. The first book that I have is Sin by Josephine Hart. This is a gorgeous hardback with like the sun that wraps around. The synopsis on the inside of the cover is very long. Do you want to see what it's like naked? It's got kind of like a shiny star. It's very long, so I'm going to summarize for you guys. It's about this girl and her parents adopt her cousin. I'm not sure what happens to the aunt and uncle. But they end up adopting her, but the cousin's older than her, so the cousin replaces her as sort of the eldest child, the firstborn child in the family, and she gets extremely jealous. And there's a lot of jealousy and meanness throughout their childhood, and that spills over into adult life, and there's this whole sick and twisted sort of path that the two girls take, as far as I'm aware. This is really interesting to me because as a teacher, I find it really interesting when children are so shaped by things that happen in their childhood, things that as an adult maybe doesn't seem like a massive thing, or for some people it won't affect and other people's it's completely life-changing, and that sort of little look into child psychology as a teacher is really interesting to me, so I picked this one up, and again all of these were 50p. The next book was a copy of Laura Doone, which is a children's classic. There's not much to say about this. I'm not overly interested in the story, but for 50p, look how gorgeous this edition is. There's a list of all the classics on the back, and one of my absolute favourite things about secondhand books, nearly all of my books are secondhand, one of my absolute favourite thing is when they're like personalised, and this one was given to Gillian Shaw in 1970, and I just love little things like that. It smells so old and musty, and yeah, I just think this is going to look absolutely gorgeous, but hopefully I will get around to reading it as well. Another book that I picked up was 5/4 of the Orange by Joanne Harris. This is the author of Chocolat, the favourite book. This seems to be, and again, it's French set, and it takes place in a French town, and everything seems okay, but there's some sort of secret lying under the surface. It looks all picturesque and like a really nice community, but there's some things going on, and somebody moves to the town or whatever happens, and the secrets might be exposed. And I've been seeing this book everywhere, and every time I see it, I pick it up and look at it, and I can't really decide whether it's something for me or not, but when I saw it for 50p, I knew I had to give it a go to put my mind at rest over this book. I also picked up Murder in the Collective by Barbara Wilson. First of all, the covers got me when it came to this, and the stripy spine is just like straight out of the 80s. And then I read the back of the book, and the first line had me. 2 print collectives, one left-wing and one radical lesbian, plan to merge. I was like, yes, in a murder setting this sounds so good. There's Filipino residence movement, CIA, drunken feminists, secret marriages, fugitives in attics, blackmails, and a pair of contact lenses are all involved before the mystery can be solved. And this just sounds like a really fun time. And I enjoy now, I read more diversely, and I read just about every genre, I think, apart from romance. And mystery always was my genre. I nearly read exclusively mystery for so many years, and just good fun time mysteries like this, like they just get me. I'm really looking forward to getting around to this, probably around Christmas time as a snuggly read. It's well, the text is really tiny. It's not a big book, so I would say you get through this in a day or two, and I'm just looking really forward to it. It just sounds like fun and different. I also picked up Tari by Celestine Fiati. I am not sure if that's the correct pronunciation. I like the sound of this book. It's about a small community that are all very interconnected. Everyone knows everyone's business, and our main character, her husband's not a great guy, and the kids are left, so she's are grown up and moved on, so she's considering leaving this deadbeat of a husband when a mysterious baby is sort of abandoned, and she tries to work out sort of where the baby came from. They can't believe that in such a close-knit community they haven't worked out where this baby could have came from. And the author is from Tahiti, and I believe it's set in a similar sort of setting, and that's not a setting that I would normally read in books. I haven't read in anything Hawaii or Caribbean or anything like that, and I don't think I've read anything by an author from Tahiti either, and it just sounds like a good time, and I'm going to check it out and see what it's all about. Next book I picked up purely on a whim, and I am so excited about it. I probably picked it up because the author's name is quite prominent on the spine and her first name is Hannah, and that's probably why I was drawn to it. And when I picked it up, I knew I had to have it. This is The Bondswoman Narrative by Hannah Crafts. This was discovered by Professor Henry Louis Gates Jr. That's a name and a half, Henry. And he has actually edited the work. He found the manuscript for this book. It was never published, and it was written in the 1850s by a female African-American slave, and it is quite possibly the first novel ever written by a black woman anywhere, or so it says in the back. And Professor Gates found this book and has put it together and edited it slightly and published it. And it's sort of partly, the main part of it is obviously the novel, which is about a self-educated house slave and the wife of the plantation owner, and something bad happens to both of them and they end up running away together. And it also includes an introduction, which is quite chunky. Let me see, I can show you how much. You know, like it's a good portion. The introduction is all about how if I could speak today, it would be fabulous. It's all about Professor Gates and how he found the book and what they learnt about it, and sort of searching to see if they could find out any history about the author, where she came from, if she was still alive, you know, things like that, if she had any living relatives, and how they got the book published. And this just sounds absolutely incredible, and if it is what they state it is, like, why have I not heard of this before? The next one is a big massive paperback, The Night Watch by Sarah Waters. I have not read any of Sarah Waters, but I have heard of her name before. She is mostly known for her Victorian murder mysteries, and Victorian murder mysteries, if I had to pick a like small pinhole of a genre to only read for the rest of my life, it would be Victorian mysteries. But this one is set in the 40s, sort of post-war England, and I don't really read a lot of war books or anything about that sort of time period either, so I thought if she has sort of this style and nuances of the Victorian mystery, and it's still a mystery to get me hooked, then this could be a good entry point to reading some more novels about that sort of time period and learning a bit more about it. 3 to go. 3 big hardbacks to go. I picked up Disillusion by C.J. Samson, and I don't know much about this. The cover appealed to me, the sort of oldie worldy, sort of medieval, I like that. And it just says on the back, in an age of treachery and turmoil, brutal murders brings the ultimate test of faith. And that just sort of caught me. I love murders, and I love things set in a sort of medieval-y time period, and by the cover it looks like it has something to do with a monastery maybe. I'm also very much about that, and yeah, if it's well written this should be good. And y'all know, if there's one thing about a book that gets me, it's when the end page is a map. If there's a map at the start of a book, I know I'm going to love it. I also picked up Bare Bones, which is in the Temperance Brennan murder mystery series. If you have seen the TV show Bones, that is the television adaptation of these books. I have loved Bones for the past 5-6 years. and it's one of my favourite TV shows, and I've never read any of the books, and I do have one other of the series, which I haven't got around to yet. I picked up recently, and when I saw this for 50p, I had to pick it up. It's about a scientist who teams up with an FBI guy, and they're married. I'm not sure if they're married at the book or what point in the relationship we are in the books. I'm guessing you don't have to read them in order. It's just similar characters, and I know all the characters from the TV show. It seems to be pretty close. So it's just a case of it's a different mystery, and they use the bones and the skeletons to work out how the person was murdered and use that as clues to solve the crime. And my final book of this haul is Lynn S. Hightower's No Good Deed. This is another mystery. Shocker, I know. And this 15-year-old girl is on a farm, and her father's away working, and whoever owns or runs the farm is away doing something else, and she decides she's going to take the horse out for a ride by herself, and she doesn't come back. And that's the sort of mystery of the whole thing. And with my mysteries, I'm sorry I can't tell you guys any more about them, but I like to know minimal amount of details about mystery books before going in. And that is my book haul. That is our grand total of 10 books for £5, which I can't get over. Guys, go out and support your local second-hand bookstores, charity shops if you have them, thrift stores, because we don't want them to die out. As you can see, you get great finds. Like, you can go sometimes and find nothing, but you can go sometimes and find so much. Thank you for watching. If you've read any of these books, please tell me down below, because as I said, I don't know too much about them, but I would love to know if you guys loved them or hated them. And also, please no spoilers. I hope you're all happy. I hope you're all healthy, and I shall see you in my next video, hopefully. Goodbye.